Hello.
Good morning.
Happy Easter, guys. What are you doing anything with your family today?
Yeah, we're going to go to my grandma's and she's catering. So just looking forward to seeing my grandma. I haven't seen her in a little bit. Just the rest of my mom's family. So yeah, it'll be pretty chill, but I'm looking forward to it. How about you? Anything?
My mom, brother, and stepdad are in Boston right now, and then I think my dad has something with my step siblings' parents. So I think I might just be chilling at home today. I'm gonna call my cousins and see what's going on, but I don't. There has not been like a coordinated
Yeah.
discussion about today. I think like Easter just kind of snuck up on all of us. So we have
For sure.
good
Hey,
morning.
morning. Thanks for joining.
So we have some fun. I'm just so excited about some of the stuff we have, especially X-Men 97 today. So let's dive into our geeky gossip.
All right.
So the first thing for geeky gossip is Sleeping Beauty Funko. So Sleeping Beauty is having a 65th anniversary, which I'm excited about because I love Sleeping Beauty, and specifically Maleficent is like one of my favorite villains. And so I'm pumped to have more Sleeping Beauty merch.
Yeah, I love these. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. I really love the owl with like
Yes.
the little birdies.
Yeah, I think that one is my favorite too.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I have any. I think I have a couple Sleeping Beauty pops. But none that really look like that. Oh, hello. Happy Easter. But yeah, I would say that's my favorite, but they all look pretty good. The Merryweather one though is funny. I kind of want that one too.
I want all of them minus Maleficent. I have a Maleficent, and I feel like the
I think I do.
pops that they do, they look all the same. Like there's not a ton of variation, it feels like.
Yeah. I have a dragon. I actually got it a couple years ago already. Funko had like a collab with Disney it was like a subscription box called Disney Treasures. Did you ever hear about that?
No, I didn't. What is that?
It doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it was like it went on for maybe like a year. That was actual subscription, but it was awesome. It had like all these exclusive Disney pops, and you get I think it was maybe every other month, I think, and you would get like all this other Funko merch with it, like socks, pins, pens, and then you get like a Funko or like a mini Funko with it. So they gave one time the Maleficent dragon, and it was like a pretty big one too. So that went on for about maybe a year, and then they ended up getting rid of the subscription, and then they had a collaboration with Hot Topic for a while. That it was like the same boxes, but it was just through Hot Topic, and I feel like I got it less then, but I mean it was fine. And fun while it lasted. So
Oh, I love that. I don't really have too many Disney pops in general. A lot of my pops are Marvel or DC. I think I want to get the owl. I love the Aurora from like the forest scene and Prince Philip. I think
she's holding an owl too, right? Yeah.
I think she is, which
so cute.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, very cute.
Good morning. Well, afternoon maybe for you.
Yeah. It's earlier here.
Happy Easter, everyone. Hi. Yeah, so I'm really excited about these. Do you know when they're releasing officially?
Yeah. Okay, so right now, I believe both are available for pre-order. But the sources that I found was Amazon and Entertainment Earth. So Amazon is May 6th and Entertainment Earth is June.
Okay. I feel like anytime I've pre-ordered pops from Amazon, they take forever.
Yeah, I'm very careful about Amazon because either come damaged or they take longer than expected. So I'd rather like from Agani just get them in store.
Same.
Yeah. Okay, so then I picked some Funkos, which I have been very, very selective about the Funkos I've gotten, and I actually haven't gotten Harry Potter ones in a while because there are so many.
For as many as there probably are, I don't feel like I actively I see a ton of Harry Potter Funkos when I'm out, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I maybe they haven't had a wave come out in a while, but yeah, there's just so many. And I feel like they had them pretty early on in Funkos, like when they were releasing Pops for the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is from The Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the third movie, and that's one of my favorite Harry Potter movies for sure. So I was really excited about these. I really like it just because it has like Hermione with Crookshanks, which is her cat. It has the night bus driver. It has Sirius Black in front of it, like his like "Have you seen this wizard?" sign. Of course, like Harry riding Hippogriff, which is probably one of my favorites. Yeah, you just have like quite a variety from that movie, and I think there are a lot of like really fun ones and just like iconic looks from the movie. So I'm really excited. I kind of think, I'm not gonna get all of them, but I probably want to get like at least one or two since I haven't gotten any Harry Potter Funkos in a while.
I love the Sirius Black. Sirius Black was always one of my favorite characters, and I loved this book was my favorite. Also,
it's so good.
I closed the window because you could hear, possibly you guys can hear birds chirping. I have a bird nest that is like on one of my windowsills. I can still hear it with the
yeah, a little. That's okay. We just have extra friends today.
I do. I'm basically a Disney princess, guys. I have.
You are Sleeping Beauty. Perfect. Yeah. I wonder if you guys in the comments, if there's any Funko Pops that you're looking forward to seeing, either from here or just ones that are coming out soon. I'm curious because Funko's always coming out with some. I've tried to calm down a little bit, but they keep coming out, and then I go, I really have to be selective.
There's always like one or two where you're like, well, I said I wasn't gonna buy anymore, or like I wasn't gonna really do that, and then all of a sudden you see one or two, and you're like, okay, I guess I'm gonna get those.
Yeah, exactly.
So Cult of the Lamb is a video game, and I played it a little bit. Mainly my boyfriend plays it and was like thoroughly obsessed with it. And so I would love like watching him play, mostly because I'm like, I love seeing the little lamb kind of like prance around and making his cults. And I am so excited about this Kickstarter. So they're coming out with some comics for like based on the video games, which I think is awesome because I feel like this little character is so perfect for a kind of comic story. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really curious to see just like what the story arc will be for it. But I love the covers and I love the little character. And let me know if you guys have played this game because it is so fun and so cute and I think hilarious considering.
Yeah. I know I still haven't played it, but I know we've talked about it before. So when I like saw this, I was like, Haley, you have to get these. I think when I was looking at the Kickstarter too, I think they might be coming, like if you do join the Kickstarter, I think you can maybe get it like in a trade form already, but then you can also get like the single issues, which is really fun because like all the single issues look really, really awesome. But yeah, I'm also very curious, like what the actual storyline will be. I mean, I don't really know much about the actual game, but I feel like that would be just like a fun read.
Yeah, I think that would be really cute. Ooh, Casablanca. I've never seen Casablanca.
I mean, I haven't either. But I feel like you would think that they would, but it always depends on kind of like the licensing because there's like so many Funko Pops that like took like forever. Like even like I remember like Kingdom Hearts, for example, took forever to release the actual like Sora and characters like that because they didn't have the licensing. So there's like quite a bit that are like that. So hopefully one day, because you would think, because that's like a classic movie. So I wouldn't see why not. Or they would do like maybe like I could see them doing like the movie poster and then have like either both of them together or one of them or something. I think that'd be really cute.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is gore. Oh my gosh. Just that and what was it? There was another movie last week that you were like, also goodbye.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think you and me have a list, a long list. Oh, it was Alien. Well, you watched Alien, but
I did watch it. But yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, and then we have Wicked, Trinity. Oh, this looks so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you're looking forward to hearing what it's about, but I'm sure you can get an idea.
Seems
'Cause
witchy.
yes, which is very on brand for me. Um, Now, yeah, I was just kind of looking into like what kinds of comics Archie was coming out with because you know me, Archie girl for life here. So I saw that they had like a new one-shot series that's called Wicked Trinity. It's actually when is it coming out? It is coming out on June 12th, but the pre-orders are you can pre-order now. And yeah, it's unfortunately it's only be a one shot, and this sounds really good. So it's actually in it's well, there's a whole Archie universe, but it's actually under the Sabrina storyline.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, so because I didn't really know anything about these three, and I always now with there being that there was like the Netflix show and like the different Sabrina series, I was kind of trying to figure out like where these three were from because they're three witches that are bad witches. Of course, because we know Sabrina is a good witch. And apparently like two or maybe all three of them appeared in the all ages comics for I think it was like a Sabrina annual, which I think I read pretty sure. I had to think about that, but so they were like in the all ages comics, and they kind of wanted to bring them into the more like I guess for older readers that they have, since kind of RG ranges from all ages to like the mature that audience that they've been trying to do within the last couple of years. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is really exciting. It actually said that the storyline or yeah, in general is inspired by Charmed and The Craft. I kid
Oh
you
my
not.
god. That is the most on brand
So I was like, yes, I
comment.
we were checking that out. Yeah, but it's about the three of them. And there's like Sabrina's like arch nemesis, I guess. And they each have different abilities that are related to like fire, water, and I think wind is the other one.
Well, that's cool. So
That's
kind of
all I could find out. But yeah, it's just gonna be about. I don't even think Sabrina is necessarily gonna be in it, but it's just gonna be like whatever storyline. Like they didn't say like too much about what it's about. Just that they have their own little coven. And course they're gonna have their own like bad guys or something like that, so I'm just really excited to like hear more about it because for right now I don't know too much, but yeah, like I really the variant cover that is out is by Sue Lee, which I
cool.
love. I know she does so much good work. Yeah, so I'm really excited for that. But I feel like I'm gonna end up liking it, and then that's only me a one shot. So hopefully they'll like bring them into like other comics, especially like the mature ones, especially if this does like really well. But
I'm
I'm
excited
excited.
for this too. I definitely will end up picking this up. I want to read it with you.
Yes, we definitely should. But I'm excited.
And I love the artwork.
Yeah. I wonder what like if interior will be similar, or just like other Archie comics that I've seen. But yeah, I'm really excited to see because I love my witchy stories.
That is. And also you love Charmed. So if it is even remotely kind of inspired by, it'd be perfect for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we have X-Men 97. So give me your initial thoughts, non-spoiler thoughts, because we will get into spoiler territory, but I'm so excited to be chatting about this because I've seen all three episodes so far.
Yeah.
Initial
Oh my
thoughts.
god. I loved it so much. I know you watched it before me, and you're like, yeah, no, watch it, like so we can talk about it for our show. I'm like, okay, we're getting on it because me and my boyfriend were watching it, because he also like grew up watching X-Men. I'm sure I watched some of it. I just don't remember from like the earlier years, like watching it that much, but I had to. I'm sure. But I was really excited about this, especially because like within the last couple of years, I've gotten really into X-Men. You always were an X-Men fangirl. But I've gotten really into it from doing like the Omni X-Men show with Justin and John. Because they do like a weekly like show where they recap issues like from different X-Men omnibuses, especially like starting like from the beginning. And I've just been in there like since I'm in their second season, so second Omni with them, and it's been really, really fun. So I kind of wanted to see like how this would connect. I'm also reading the X-Men 92 animated series. So that it's just a lot of crossover. So I was like, I wonder what kind of storylines they're gonna kind of like pull from. And I was really excited to see that like things actually made sense for me because I have been reading so much. So I was able to like kind of like notice like certain characters and like storylines they were calling out, things like that. What were your kind of initial thoughts?
Yeah, so I wasn't sure what to expect. So I hadn't watched X-Men 92. Not really. I've seen like a couple of episodes. Or are you thinking X-Men 92 or also 97? Because I think 97's theme song is basically relatively based on X-Men 92. It's just a little bit altered just a bit, but it has that same kind of tone.
Yeah. Oh, it's so catchy. We could have skipped ahead, but I just kept listening to it. Yeah. You probably heard it also because like I feel like anytime anybody posts anything X-Men on Instagram, especially like Justin and John, they always play like the theme song.
I know, yeah. I definitely had it stuck in my head after watching these 3 episodes.
Yeah, I
We'll let
probably
you
kept
know
singing it.
when we say spoilers, so
Yes,
that you could
promise.
like hop off if you want. But yeah, I really, really, really liked it. I was pretty surprised by how much I became obsessed with it pretty quickly. I having not seen like 92, I didn't have anything to compare it to. But in terms of just like Marvel's animated studios, I've seen some of the what ifs and I like them, but they're
Mhm.
not like my absolute favorite, even though the animation is amazing.
Yeah.
This definitely gives so much nostalgia vibes for like just like the 90s cartoons in general. And then I loved seeing the X-Men team come together. Like Candace was saying, like we've been both reading X-Men for a while now. And so to be able to kind of like see like some of the storylines that they're pulling from was really cool. And just in general, I've watched some of the X-Men like live action
Mhm.
films, but there's something just like really fun about seeing an animated version of it. And I felt like the writing in all 3 episodes, like obviously the first episode is tons of like exposition
Right.
dumping, but it does set it up really quickly. And I think that there's like some really hilarious moments where it's like Morpheus trolling Wolverine.
Oh my
Like
god,
there's like certain
Wolverine making me laugh the whole time. Like I literally laughed out
yeah.
loud. Like even my boyfriend were just like laughing. We were like, he's funny. I mean, the matches, of course, like exactly like the comics because he's always the comedic relief for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. I think if you're an X-Men fan, it felt really fun to watch, and there was so many times where I was just, like, watching it and, like, chuckling or being like, "I can't believe this character said that," or just, like, I was having a lot of reactions while watching each episode, which was really cool. I thought the action sequences were fantastic. They really were showing off a lot of each character's power, which
Mhm.
is just so fun to see on screen.
Yeah.
And then just kind of reading from what other people were saying who have seen X-Men 92, they've kind of really highlighted like Cyclops' powers, like kind of was showcased better in these 3 episodes than in the original series.
Mhm.
He was utilizing the more
Interesting. Yeah.
tricks. So I thought that was yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Magneto's design, it's great. I mean, it's his 90s costume. There's like certain
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's in like the comics like that as
yeah.
well. Like because I know I've seen like figures and just like different like trading cards and just everything with the hair. And I'm like, it's just so different than what you would expect for Magneto. So that's why like I'm here for it. I was like, finally I get to see long haired Magneto in something.
I love long hair Magneto. um,
We have
perfect.
an Omni friend here.
Good morning. Okay, so we're gonna start spoiling the episodes. So if you have not seen episodes 1 through 3, you can like jump out and jump back in because we have some other fun things we're gonna talk about today. But And I have like some surprises that Candace doesn't even know that I'm going to showcase. I got 2 birthday gifts from my dad kind of early. So they're pretty cool. So I'm excited to share those later. But okay. Spoiler alert. As a Magneto girly, as a Magneto fan, I have to say yes, this show right now is currently everything that I want. They're giving Magneto a redemption arc. Basically, at this point, Charles Xavier is dead. Actually, I think though, someone can correct me on this. I think in X-Men 92, Charles Xavier is not like actually dead. He's like off somewhere, like on a planet that is not Earth. I think. So, but either way, he's no longer with the X-Men. And in his last will and testament, he leaves the X-Men and the school and everything to Magneto. So
crazy.
Which is wild. Cyclops is really upset about this, considering he's like worked really hard to try to fill Xavier's shoes, and there's just been a lot of pressure. We see that Jean is married to him and also pregnant. But I loved how they gave him a redemption arc so far. Obviously, we're episode 3, and we know Magneto.
Yeah, he could change that like really quick. But hopefully not.
Well, and I loved that they were showcasing the relationship that him and Charles Xavier had, and that friendship, and how much, even though on these kind of opposite spectrums that they were, how he does feel like he has an obligation to at least try to fill his shoes. And I love the writing for his character. I think it's done really well. There's like some kind of like poetic moments that I'm like, oh, that was great. And then the other aspect that I loved so much, which I am definitely in the minority of, but yes, give him love. And I love Rogue and Magneto.
That was shocking. I was so shocked with that. I was like, wait. When did this happen?
Hey. The Cyclops and Storm intros were also Storm fantastic all around. So good. Her powers. Yeah. I did not know in general, for as much of a fan as I am of Magneto, I had not read any of the storylines where him and Rogue have a kind of romance, because it is
either
comics. It's not like it seemingly, it can get a little all over the place. Like they kind of have like flirtations. I think in Savage Land or Savage Island, there's a little bit kind of between them. She falls in love with one of his younger clone, Joseph, at one point in the comic series. And then in X-Men Legacy, she also has a relationship with Magneto, but then ultimately chooses Gambit. So
interesting. Yeah, I don't know about any of that.
Yeah, they do get together in comics. I immediately ordered some of the comics in which they're together.
That does not surprise me. You'll have to send me which ones those are, because I don't even know. Yes, we're all very shocked about
it. Not like an item at this moment, but you're seeing also, I love how messy they are in this. Like everyone has like weird love triangle energy going on. But so Magneto, with one of the aspects of Rogue is everyone knows that she can't like touch people and have like physical intimacy with someone. And so that is so difficult, and is something that we all need to survive. And I guess an aspect between Rogue and Magneto is that she's actually able to touch Magneto. And his like powers, like he's just so strong, or his powers just like cancel out, or something happens. I actually don't quite understand
I don't know why.
way that it works, but that's kind of also what I was reading happens in the comics. So she's able to have physical intimacy with him, and she can't with anyone else. And I have to say, if that is the only person, like if you've never had that ever in your life, and then you're able to have that with someone, that has to create such a strong emotional bond.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
true. Mm-hmm.
in one of the episodes, she's like in the office and she like takes off her glove and like puts her hand to his cheek. And I have to say, I was so here for it. I was like, yes. And then it like pans out and she like leaves and Gambit is like standing behind a wall. And I was like,
oops. Yeah, I'm really like interested to see where that's gonna go. She touched Polaris.
Okay, so this is
okay.
what
Thank
happened.
you.
This is so helpful to know because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't quite understand it. So she touched Polaris and now they cancel each other out. And I guess in Age of Apocalypse too, that they were also together, which I love. Emma and Scott became an item. Nothing should surprise me. I know, I read about that too. Also, I just have so many feelings about, yeah. So not to get ahead of myself, but so those were probably my two favorite things about X-Men 92, which is very on brand for me. Give me love, give me my morally gray Magneto, and then I'm set. So I love the way that this was going. Candace, what'd you think of Jean Grey and Madeline Pryor? So Scott is married to who we think is Jean Grey, but it actually ends up being her clone,
which he says to call her Madeline Pryor, which that's kind of what I was telling Haley is what right now in Omni X-Men, Jean already has died after Dark Phoenix, and then Scott ends up getting together with Madeline Pryor and marrying her. And like it was kind of a funny thing because also like she looks just like Jean, so that's why it's kind of interesting like how this is connecting in that way. I mean, at least what we're reading, like she is not Jean. But I just thought that was like crazy. I was just like, I remember I like gasped when she said that, and then I was like, oh my gosh, what's Madeline Pryor? But it was just kind of cool to like recognize that storyline. But Madeline Pryor and Scott Summers, they actually, well, right now they don't have any kids in the series, but it's in like the God, what is it called? Days of Future Past. They find that in that one it's like different, like multiverse basically, and they actually have, or Scott and Jean have a daughter that's called Rachel Summers. So just kind of like crazy how just all of that like crosses.
How they like shift that.
Mm-hmm.
I am so curious to see how Jean and Scott kind of just like work this out, because the way that it shows in the animated series, you're not also quite certain when they were swapped. And it's like, who did he marry? Whose kid is it? Well, I mean, it's Madeline Pryor's, but like, I can't imagine coming back and being like, you potentially married somebody else and then also had a kid with somebody else who was like my clone. Like,
that was like so confusing. I was just like, oh, I mean, we're not supposed to really know it at this point. I don't know if that's even something they're gonna explain or not, but
I feel like they have to. There's no way like she comes back and is like, you've had a child with like my clone. Like we're all
I don't know. And then like was it the end of 3? Was that when they well, Jean, of course, so Jean / Madeline had the baby, which was Nathan Summers, and he ends up getting, I guess, what was exactly, like, infected.
Mr. Sinister basically puts him into this, like, green, like...
I don't even know what that is.
That looks like Mountain Dew, which is one of the things I thought it was funny. And so he has a kind of, like... techno virus, it seems like.
I feel like that's a good way to describe it, but then like they can't fix it in like modern times, so then Bishop takes him into his future, which then I I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, so we read it. Yeah, I don't really know a lot about Cable, but my
Who do
boyfriend
I
knows.
actually?
So you say you don't either? Yeah, was saying that Cable is actually Nathan Summers. So that then would kind of make sense why he would be going into the future. Now you guys could correct if anything is wrong with
Yeah,
that, but
please
that's what at
correct
least
us
like
because we don't know everything. So
yeah
we're kind of piecing some of the stuff together.
yeah
I loved the action sequences with like the fight scenes between all of them and Madeline prior when she goes dark and is just kind of schooling most people, like
yeah.
Cyclops and all of them. I thought that was like that transformation was really well done. And then Storm loses her powers.
Which is technically well, it is a story arc that like actually what we're kind of reading in Omni X-Men right now, but it's not the same like it's not the same way that she lost her powers, which is kind of crazy because the actually maybe that was the cliffhanger. I'm trying to remember the actual cliffhanger.
Yeah, the cliffhanger was that Storm is basically in a bar and Forge comes up to her. Uh,
Yeah.
and
And
he's
I
like,
was like,
I didn't
"Oh
get your
my god."
powers back.
I wasn't expecting to see him because
I
my
wasn't
only
either.
introduction was through like the Omni X-Men, so the earlier years when actually Storm does lose her powers, which is in well, from what I remember, I think it was that Forge they mean to kill Forge, but then ends up killing or not killing. Like Storm ends up losing like her powers in this battle. And then they kind of like become like kind of like an item, but then she's kind of has like she can't 100% be with him because she's kind of angry at him at the same time. So
Interesting.
plus he has such a fit like in that in the earlier it's like he wears like a polo with a pop collar and like booty shorts and like he
What an
has
outfit.
what
I said, what an outfit.
yeah um oh my god, yeah, I had like remind you looking that up. But yeah, so he's like a different vibe. So once I saw that he was going to be in this, like I was really really excited, and kind of again like another storyline that I'm kind of like seeing how they're connecting. So I'm excited for that. Also, this was the first time I was introduced to Morph,
Same.
which I know pretty sure that he
I
was in
was
the
introduced to him a little bit in the comics, but like
yeah,
I didn't think I
no comics, I don't think. But I know that he's in the 92 as well. But what I really liked about the ability, like his abilities, of course, is he's literally morphing into different X-Men characters now, and it's cool because it's like other X-Men that are not even in the series, or they're just from like just kind of everywhere. Like I know I saw like Ileana Rasputin that he turned into
the magic. And then you had a Psylocke.
yeah, Psylocke. I can't even remember all of the different ones.
Angel.
Angel, yes, Angel. Yeah, so that was what's his face? Peter. Peter's name again.
There was also the Blob.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a whole bunch.
Yeah, so many. So many. So that I think that aspect was really cool to just like even though like a lot of those characters aren't gonna actually be in the series, that's like a cool way to kind of like Easter egg tie that in. Speaking of another Easter egg, I guess I noticed like when they were showing like all the photos of Jean and Scott that they showed like the wedding issue cover. Did you notice that?
I did.
Yeah, which I
love
thought
that.
was really, really just like a cool, like little Easter egg, like but yeah, I'm really loving this. I think just because I've been so like I've dove in like really deep into like the earlier issues, I have been really loving it. Yes.
Yes. I mean, yes to both Kitty Pryde and Dazzler. I would absolutely die, especially if we saw Dazzler. Like, I would love to see her on screen. That would just be.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if any of them were ever showed up in the 92 series, but even if they do show up, even as like from like as Morph, I'm happy.
Yeah,
but,
right. Morph just goes into Dazzler. That's fine.
that
I'll
would
take
be
what I can get.
that'd be great.
Also, Nightcrawler. I would love to see
Yes.
Nightcrawler.
I think
I really
Nightcrawler
like.
was in the original, was he? I think I saw he was.
I'm not sure.
Or maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna have to rewatch or I guess watch the first time the original series because I want to kind of see like compare and contrast and like see what other characters were in that.
Yeah, let us know in the comments like what X-Men characters you'd like to see pop up in the 97.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah. Man, Kitty Pryde would be awesome too. I would just love
I know.
Unpopular opinion here. I might just not. I like Jubilee as like a character in the sense that I think she's like the way that she is in terms of the team, kind of like the younger character, fun, but her powers have never really impressed me.
I haven't really read too much with her, so that's why like just watching the series and then reading the 92 right now is like kind of my introduction. Just because I've been reading so much of the older series. Also, I have a fun fact for you, Haley. So I was kind of looking into like the voice acting for this, and I know that they got majority of, I'm pretty sure, the original cast. Although they actually changed the original voice of Jubilee. What was her name? Allison Court, who is Lunette the Clown, and but actually she's not voicing her here because Allison actually wanted I believe a Chinese voice actor instead. She was like, I'm gonna bow out. I'd rather you do like cast appropriately.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
But I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that she was, because I was like, Allison Court, that name sounds so familiar. And then I looked at her and I was like, oh my God, that's
that's Lunette. Okay, yeah.
Childhood.
I can't wait to see Nightcrawler then.
Yeah.
I
love Nightcrawler.
Okay. Well, we have Comic Besties back issues.
Okay, so kicking it off with an interesting one. Now, you've only heard about this, Haley, from me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this one was such a surprising, like really fun series. I have one more issue left to read in it. But it's called I Was the Cat, and it is from 2014. I actually found it through Comixology, and they had like all the individual issues or chapters. And there's 6 of them. So what's really fun about this series is that, well, it's kind of from the point of view of a cat to a degree. But there's this one woman who's a journalist, like for a blog, and this guy, or we'll say man for now, reaches out to her because he wants her to write his memoir. So then she ends up meeting up with him and finds out that he's actually not a man, he's a cat, and he talks. So, and basically, like, of course, like she's like shocked about it. Has like a really normal like human reaction to it. But then she does decide to like do this. And the cat, whose name is Burma, wants to like kind of, the memoir is going to kind of go through all of his like, I think he's on like, you know how cats have like 9 lives. I think he's on like life 8 or something like that, and wants to, it kind of recaps like every single like situation, like all his different lives. Which was really is fun about that is that it's a lot of like famous people in history. So he's like Queen Elizabeth's cat, Napoleon's cat. I think he was like in the like a military cat. I can't remember which war. And then like this last panel that's on the right is actually he was like saying that he was the cat in Breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey Hepburn. Like,
that is so fun.
I think he was in like with the pharaohs in Egypt. Like, it's crazy. And I really like the illustration. As you can see, it's just like it's really good. And yeah, so he's kind of like recounting like all these like his lives and actually like how he died in each of them too. So I mean, this is not really like, I mean, I guess it could be, it's not really all ages per se. It's definitely not. It actually runs a little bit more mature kind of. But then basically the plot twist of it all is that he's actually this is actually part of a massive plan for him to, what he says, take over the world.
I think I
whatever
just
that means exactly. But
I'm just gonna tell you about my 9 lives. Actually, I'm gonna take over the world.
well, he doesn't tell them that. But then the journalist and her I guess is she a roommate? Yeah, roommate ends up like she brings like the roommate friend like ends up finding out too, and then they kind of start to like investigate that this cat is like who not he doesn't seem to be, and he's like has this whole like um I guess like it's kind of like a villainous crew of people that he's like doing his dirty work because he's a cat. He can't do stuff. But yeah, it's a really really fun series that I'm so surprised. Like I actually really ended up like loving. It's something actually I want to eventually get into like trade if I can. But yeah, it's just like the art's really good. The storyline is really unique in my opinion. I really loved even that like the cover art, as you can see, that they've been doing like is just really really fun, and I like that it's like a funny like crossing with historical, but then like also has like really dark undertones with it. So I highly recommend, especially if you have Comixology, you can like read the whole thing. I have one issue left, so kind of I don't even know like how they're gonna end it. But I'm really really enjoying it so far, and I highly recommend. I feel like you would like this, Haley, especially because I feel like you do like
I
those
have
kind of like
Comixology, so I could.
perfect. Yes, you should read it and let me know what you think.
I definitely will. I love the idea. I love also historical fiction, so like historical aspect of comics mixed with it, like his like 9 lives. That sounds really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I read another digital comic because I couldn't find it on like my local comic shop, and it's called The Dwellings, which
Okay.
let me show you the cover is.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, what I like about this, so it's a horror comic, but it's kind of it's drawn in the way of kind of like the Harvey's comics or
Yeah. Yeah.
Casper.
Exactly.
Um, it even has, you would love this, like fake ads that are meant to be kind of like retro. So I'll show you
Love my ads. Oh God.
the animation,
I
and they're
need
little
this.
horror short stories.
Mhm.
So there's 2 in it, and it just is incredible. I really love the way that it's juxtaposed between this kind of cartoony, innocent illustration, and then the story itself is just really depraved and horrific. So in some ways it's like more easily digestible because it is drawn in this way that is so cute. Let me pull up one of the ads. Okay, yeah. And then the ads themselves relate to the story that you're reading as
Oh,
well, which
that's
is
so
really
fun.
fun. So you actually want to sit there and read through all of the text. And the pages themselves kind of have a different a hue to make it look like older comic paper.
Okay, like the 4-color.
So this is one of the
Um.
ads. So I actually picked up, or I ordered the second issue in print because it homages an old horror comic cover, a classic horror cover comic, and I really liked that. And these are pretty thick. I think they're like 75 pages.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So I think they're not like $4.99. I think the retail price might be $10, but I
Yeah. So I'm seeing usually like 7.99 and 10.
but I thought this was really fun, and it doesn't. I think there are a lot of comics that when they do this are trying to kind of make a parody of
Mhm.
a horror comic, and sometimes I feel like they can go to the extreme of being maybe with the mature content like grotesque, like even though this is like horror and like really dark, like it doesn't feel like a kind of stupid mature humor, something that I just kind of wouldn't be into. But I
Mhm.
really liked this, and I thought that the writing was really fun. And I breezed through it. I read it in one sitting and then was like, I want to keep reading the rest of the issues.
Yeah,
So
that sounds so good. Yeah, I
I
really want to read it too.
um
That
And I know that you don't do a bunch of horror, but this would be your.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah. Plus, yeah, you got me when it said the ads and the illustration style. I'm just like, oh, that sounds really, really fun. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Is awesome. If anyone's read The Dwellings, let me know your thoughts in the comics, because I just really enjoyed it. And I thought it was something that was really different, and I hadn't quite seen this done before. I've seen variations of people trying to make things look more retro or vintage, but especially if they're going into the direction of mature content, it ends up being not always done well, in my opinion. So yeah, that's the comic that I read. I didn't read a ton, but I do wanted to show just one comic, two variant, another variant of the same comic that I ended up picking up, especially in honor of this episode. I got the X-Men 97. And so I just got these yesterday in the mail, but these issues in this series is essentially what takes place before the actual show, but after X-Men 92.
Oh, okay.
So a little bit of like that kind of in between. And this is the Russell Donovan cover.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I actually didn't know that was what kind of the timeline of that is. I still haven't picked that up. I haven't been to the shop. So when we go out, I'm gonna next week I'm getting some.
Yeah, it is my birthday next week. I'm so excited.
Yes. Happy early birthday to Haley.
Well, and Candace and I are going to have a whole day, and we're going to go comic shopping and go to coffee shops and things like that. So I'm
just
really
an excuse to do all that, really.
Exactly.
That's how we love to celebrate things.
Yeah. What else did you read?
Yeah, I have two more. If Gary is still here, he's gonna recognize this because I talked about this on my last 10-1-1, but I actually read it now, so.
Yeah.
So, nostalgia. I read a Monsters comic.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I love the Monsters. I got into them. One from watching like MeTV back in the day, and also just like my dad is like a major fan of the Monsters and like collects a lot of the memorabilia and stuff like that. So I got into it at a young age. Although I will say I haven't watched them in quite a bit, and this definitely made me want to. But when I started collecting comics, I found out that of course there was Monsters comics, and I was able to pick up two of them. I think they're from different years. I think one was a con exclusive. Ooh. And then this one is actually from, I believe, 97. It's the Monsters #1, 97, and it was published by TV Comics, which I never heard of that. But I love this
series, one. Or is it like kind of like one shots?
So it's actually really interesting. That's kind of like a different like layout of stuff. So first I just love that this is a Virgin variant with Herman and Lily.
I like it.
And the art is really, really fun. So first they have they actually have
white.
Yes, which makes sense because of the
That's so cool. I really like that. That's
cool. I love the way that they're drawn in. Like it's like a cutesier style. But kind of like does kind of I feel like homages in a sense, like kind of what you're talking about. I hate like those like earlier comics. And so it has like one story, which I'll get into what it kind of that was about, but then it also has an like a short story, like not comic, like an actual
fun
story. And that one is actually about Grandpa Munster and Eddie, which is the son of Herman and Lily. Yes, so much fun. I read it like maybe one of the earlier Addams Family. I only have like them digitally. I don't think I've found any out in the wild that I can afford. But this one was actually fun because it was like Grandpa and Eddie like going to a baseball game, and of course like naturally they just get looks when they go anywhere, and their team, the Wolves, is losing. So then Grandpa kind of like uses some kind of like magic that accidentally like turns the players into like monsters. But the actual comic was really fun. So this one is Herman is like finds this like man like outside their mansion, and he's looking for Grandpa, and he doesn't know who he is, but he goes, oh yeah, you can wait for him, whatever, and then like Lily basically tells him like this is actually a relative of Van Helsing, which we know is usually the enemy of Dracula, and they're like, that is not good. So like Herman tries to like save Grandpa before I don't think Grandpa was, or yeah, Grandpa gets home from with Eddie from that baseball game that's mentioned in the short story, and he like basically intercepts him to like before Van Helsing can get to him. But then he ends up like leaving like Lily, and like this Van Helsing guy is like really after like the whole family. But this is what they think. It actually ends up not being so dark, and actually Van Helsing
even on like a positive note.
Yeah, he actually wants the family like in some kind of like magic act or something that they're doing together. So it totally like changes a whole different thing. But it was actually it was really fun. Just because the art, I love the art just so much.
That is really nice. I do like that.
So it like did feel very like sitcom-y then. And then actually the last part of the comic, because there was actually more in there, was an interview with Al Lewis, who is Grandpa Munster.
Cool.
So it was like quite a bunch. Like I never read any of his interviews, so it was just like a very simple interview. They kind of talked to him about how he got into the business and his role as Grandpa and stuff like that. So it was actually really, really interesting.
That's such a perfect comic for someone who's a fan of that show because it integrated so much. It has like the short story, the comic, and then it also had that interview, which
fun. And I mean, I just like I don't know because I haven't read the other ones. Like if that's kind of like the typical format that they're gonna use. Like I said, I have one other that's I think it's like a San Diego Comic-Con one, but I don't know because this one is from 97 and I think that one was maybe earlier 2000s, like if it's not even related. But I definitely want to look for more of these because they're really, really fun and the covers are cool, just like with the photography of both of them. Hey, Bobby. Yeah, thank you. So I really, really love that. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about, or kind of I can dive into my last one?
You can dive into your last one because I am going to show
your goodies.
Early birthdays from my dad.
Cool. Let me just mute myself really quick
while she opens the the comic. Ooh, I'm curious.
Yeah, you definitely don't get like good ASMR from that.
Like the bird that you could totally hear.
I don't really hear it as much.
Okay, good.
So the last one I read, which as big of an Archie collector as I am. Oh, let me see. I just love it. It's just one that you can just like put it on. I really want to read the or watch the series again. And actually with the book, I actually do have a book. If you hear any clang, that's because something fell off my shelf, but I'm gonna like I actually do have a book.
Wait, let me. Oh,
I got this.
Is it like it's like I love the cover. It's like a watercolor kind of.
Yeah, so this is an older book. I feel like did I get it off of eBay? Because I can't remember if my dad also had a copy and so then I wanted one, or if it was like we found it for more expensive and we were able to find it cheaper. I don't really remember this why, but it's like a little chapter book with like.
That's really cool. I
haven't read it yet, but it was like another like collector's piece. I really wanted. Let's see if what year this was. 60. Yeah, it's from 1965.
That's really awesome.
Really, really cool.
You have to read it and tell me about it.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I found it at my parents' the other day, and then I was like, I should probably take this with. But anywho's, Yeah, so I read a Archie story, Jughead's Time Police. Um, uh, there's so much Archie I still haven't read, so we're just kind of like trying to read it all. But this one was fun. I was kind of like looking through, like, I want to review like another Archie comic. I was just like wanted to do something kind of different. So Jughead's Time Police actually this is like a reboot of the series. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember what year it was, if it was like 90s, 80s, early 2000s. I honestly don't remember. But I have collected them, and I love the covers on those because it's like it's kind of actually kind of ties in kind of with the cat story of just like he's in like different time like parts of history. But this one so far I don't know if it's going to be like that at all. Because it's a pretty simple story of just Jughead is in a like a baking contest, and he's making pies because he loves eating, so that's just like totally his jam. And he actually ends up like mixing up an ingredient that actually makes everyone that ate it like sick, which is not good. So then he's actually like banned from like that competition. I don't know if it's like forever or whatever, but he's just like he's so upset because it's like that's like one of his favorite things. Yeah, so then basically like he's having a conversation with Archie, and Archie says something about like like if you could go back in time, blah blah blah, kind of phrasing to him while they're talking, and he's like, oh my god, like he wants to build a time machine. There's just no like limit on Archie. So he of course he like works with Delton, who's like the really smart, brainy guy. And they're able to create some kind of like, I don't think it's not really like a typical time machine. It actually kind of connects to his like beanie. Which here you can't see it as well, but it's like he presses like a button on it because he wants to go back in time and basically make sure that he doesn't put the wrong ingredients.
That is ridiculous.
So yeah, it sounds crazy. But then so he actually like goes back in time with Archie. Somehow Archie's able to like go with him. I don't even know how that works. But like they kind of like go into the rules of like, oh, obviously you can't like run into like people that like yourself, because that could like mess up like the timelines, and we all know that kind of stuff about time travel storylines. And he ends up like bumping into himself, and I think they end up like getting like bounced back to like home. So then he's gonna try again. This time he's like, I'm not going with Archie. Like Archie's just gonna like mess it up. And yes. So so he's about to like go back in time again, and then he's stopped by this woman who I am did they say who she is yet? I don't think so. No, they don't, but I'm pretty sure she's part of the time police.
Yeah, it gives me time police vibes that
yes, exactly. So that's pretty much how it ends. I thought I had more issues, and I actually don't. I had like one other issue that I must have either got at random, and it was like issue 10, and I didn't have any more. So I was like, oh, I actually wanted to kind of find out like if like how it's gonna like especially like with like if he's gonna go into different parts of history, like what is he gonna have to do? It's kind of like giving me like Archie version of Loki.
Oh my gosh. Except it's about a baking competition. So it's like Great British Bake Off meets Archie meets Loki.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, Archie, it's just like it ranges of just being like, yeah, sillier stories, but I'm hoping it actually might be more interesting. Like I love time travel stuff. So I think that was why I wanted to kind of read this. But I have to get more issues. I'll probably buy a trade or something just to kind of like read everything. I don't know how long the series went on for. I think I have issue 10, so at least 2 trades. But I think it's fun when they've been like in this case, like they've been rebooting a bunch of like the like earlier like Archie series and kind of modernizing them.
Yeah.
So I think that's really fun. That's like one thing I actually like seeing like a reboot on. But yeah, I think that's fun. Art style is different just for anyone that like is used to seeing like the regular Archie style. It's not like my favorite, but it's fun. Just a different take. Yeah. So just another Archie for you if you want something just like fun and different. But yeah, that was
Archie this episode.
What was that?
I said I love all the Archie this episode.
Yes, always.
So Candace doesn't know what I got. My dad surprised me with an early birthday gift, and some fun things showed up at my door yesterday. To like preface this, I have been collecting the Batman animated series comics, and I've been watching the animated series recently, and I'm obsessed with it, and I love the design of the characters, and it's definitely my favorite Batman to watch, maybe outside of Dark Knight, and then to read as well. So my dad and I were FaceTiming and hanging out, and I discovered that Mondo did Batman animated figures.
Wow.
So I got the Joker, which, let's see. Let me open up.
So, you know you have those other Batman figures. Are those also the animated series?
So I do have So there is a toy shop near my dad's house that does vintage toys that Candace introduced me to, and it had Batman animated figures. But Candace, these are 1/6 scale, which is all of that is to say the animated figures that I do have, they're like, I don't know, like this big.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay.
They're like truly so large. So I actually didn't. The boxes for these are so freaking cool. Just like even the outside. It's like in my mind, the way that I was gonna set up the figures was like not with the boxes. Now I'm like, I almost need it with the boxes.
Wow.
So I've taken out the figure. So I'll show you guys, but this is the box. I can't see you guys. And then I'm not sure if you can see because the plastic. He comes with, I'm going to open this for you guys.
Unboxing.
Let's see.
That looks awesome though. I really love the packaging. I know that's one of those things you're like, I want to display the packaging too. That's cool. Do you know how many figures are in this series?
So what's interesting about Mondo is that they'll do they'll do a limited edition run where it's like the figure, but it comes with a bunch of extras, and then they'll do the figure with like the regular, but both of them are limited. Like I think Harley is limited to 1,000, Joker is limited to 2,000. They've done Batman, they've done the
Selena.
Bat, Harley, Joker, Catwoman, and they did Mr. Freeze. I want Mr. Freeze so bad. It is the regular version. The Joker's the regular version. So yeah, all of the timed editions are like completely sold out, but you still just get so much anyways. And good morning also as well. So yeah, so what is really fun, I mean, the packaging is so good. Okay. It comes with,
oh my god,
fishes for him to hold. It comes with a bomb.
Oh, cool.
These are some of his heads.
Wow.
That you can
love it.
And then he also comes with dynamite sticks. And then now to show you him.
Oh my god, that's huge.
It is so big.
Oh my god, that is so, wow. I love it.
So I have him holding the Joker cards.
Yeah, I would too.
And then I put this face on him. I was like FaceTiming my dad, and I'm just like sitting there, just like playing with the.
Dad is so good at
a kid again, just like.
Oh my God. Love
What
it.
makes perfect is I have the Mad Love comic. So I was
Oh yeah. I was thinking of that.
Want to put Joker and then Harley. So
Perfect.
let me show you Harley now. This is the box.
Oh my God.
It's so beautiful. The packaging. I don't know. I just spend money on the packaging. Like,
I know, right? Well,
thank you.
Sometimes, of course, like you want to always keep your packaging, and it's like, what do I do with it? And it's always fun if it's actually like a display piece, so that you can kind of actually like use it as that in a background. Oh my God.
So good.
Oh wow.
So I will also
Beautiful.
open this so I can show you some of the features she comes with. Yeah, I was stunned when I opened the box. I was just really. I also didn't realize like what 1/6 figure meant. I think it's as big as my Spider-Gwen.
Probably.
Okay. They also have the Batman or not. They also have the Harley is really awesome. I say you should do it. And because also the resale on these are kind of crazy. Like
I bet
your freeze is like $600 online, which makes me sad. You have 100 pretty faces. I love that. Complimentary triple soul. So one of her heads.
God.
They also have X-Men characters. I want Rogue.
Next time I come over.
Next thing you know, I just have like a shelf of figures.
Oh, yeah, Harley would definitely be the one if I was gonna get one, I would get that one.
And then I will say the Harley Timed edition was really cool because she came with the dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But no room for choice. I get that. I'm like, do I have room for any of these? Yeah, 1/6 is usually Barbie size. Yeah, it feels like I'm playing.
There's my mom knowing the toy knowledge.
Oh, you did. The Gambit looked.
Oh yeah, that's your favorite, of course.
And then he is. I think it's hilarious. She comes with an arm.
Oh my God.
And then purse as well. Let's see.
Of course, gotta put all your necessities.
Okay. Let me set this over here. Okay.
Wow, I love these.
So this is Harley, and I put the little like hammer, but I got it. Let me move my thing back.
Wow.
This is what happens. I've like got them to finally like stand, but I was like messing with it for like 10 minutes. Okay, let's see. Let me set her. Like she is. Is
it just the stand's not very like secure? Or?
Well, I have her pose, but the stand is I think it's like the way that I have her pose.
Okay.
Mostly.
Wow. Oh, look how cute.
There we go.
Oh my God. That's perfect. I'm guessing that's
intentional.
I want
to pose them on a shelf, and then with here, let me grab it. My Mad Love comic.
Oh my God, perfect.
I love it so much. I was like, I love love, and then I want them to be in love on my shelf.
I will be looking for free when I come visit.
Yeah, they're so freaking cool. There you go.
Oh wow.
I'm like,
well, good job to your dad.
I know. I was
good at gifts.
surprised. Oh my gosh. Figures and statues are precarious venture to embark on. It really is. I don't need any more, but I want them all, basically. Thank you. Yeah, so these are the best. Mondo did such a good job. I am very curious. They're coming to C2E2. And I'm wondering if they'll bring any kind of figures with them or like what will be there.
Yeah, I was thinking that too because I don't really know what the exclusives are because for C2E2 it's gonna be Funko, Loungefly, and Mondo, and this is honestly like the first time we've actually had to like reserve, and we still need to do that. That'll be on your or when I see you, we'll have to reserve
the day before my
spots.
birthday where you have to do the reservations. So.
Yes, so hopefully we can experience that because like Funko never comes. Well, actually, all three, never come. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah. Well, so if you guys were thinking, raging of getting Harley or Joker, this is your sign to go buy one of them or both like me, because they are gorgeous. I did not realize how big these were, which I think is hilarious. They came in that I was just like, now I have to rethink where I was going to put them. I had a space in mind. Now I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
I need to adjust. Well, happy Easter, everyone. That's it for us. We hope you have a great Sunday, and then if you celebrate a great Easter, and we will be back. So I am going. My boyfriend's taking me to New York for my birthday, and we're doing like a family trip, and I'm going to see some of his family. So I will be in New York for a week right after my birthday. So there won't be a show for about 2 weeks. But after that, we'll have lots to catch up on. I'm going to go to the Pulp and Paper show with my dad on my actual birthday, which I'm excited for. So I'll record stuff there, and then I'm going to the New York Antiquarian Book Fair in New York, which I can't wait for. I'm so excited. So there will be lots of things that I will probably buy and then show you guys. So.
Yeah, especially even on your birthday. I'm ready. No, so
yeah, I know. And I will be shopping as well, like the day that we hang out. So yeah. All right. Well, have a great day.
Hey, guys. Thanks.